Hi friends, welcome back to another episode of Fix This House. On this episode, I'm going to be showing you how to replace your pressure relief valve on your water heater. This is also known as the temperature and pressure relief valve, T&P, right here. And I'll show you in a bit. Stay tuned. So I know that my water heater looks very dated, and I'm just trying to squeeze the very last life out of it before I completely replace the whole thing. But a few days ago, I've noticed that there was a steady stream coming out from the downspout of my pressure relief valve. My pressure relief valve downspout actually routes outside the side of my home, and I've noticed that it wasn't just a drip, it was a steady stream of water, hot water to be exact. So I monitored that flow coming out from my pressure relief valve downspout, and it kept going for about an hour or two, and my water heater's burner just kept burning and burning and wasn't shutting off. So that was one of the clear indications why I knew for a fact that it was the pressure relief valve that had the problem. Just a quick info, your T&P or your pressure relief valve acts as a safety mechanism for your water heater. So your water heater heats up the water, which produces steam, and temperature rises at the same time. Your water heater detects that extra pressure and it has to relieve somewhere, which goes out of this valve. If you didn't have one of these, this water heater would pretty much skyrocket out of your house, or it pretty much explode, which is very, very dangerous, and you don't want that happening at all. So the tools that you're going to need for this project are, you need a garden hose. I have a wire brush so I can clean out the threads inside once we take out that valve, flathead screwdriver, a pipe wrench. Any type of wrench will work. If you have some sort of wrench that is the similar size as this, that should suffice. Teflon tape, and you're gonna need a brand new pressure relief valve. So you can get these at your big box hardware stores such as Lowe's or Home Depot. And if you're unsure of which one is one for your water heater, go to your water heater and take a picture of your old temperature pressure relief valve right on the top. Make sure that you capture the BTUs, the PSI number, and also the thread size, and make sure that you show it to one of the employees over there, and they can gladly will match that for you so you can get the right one. Now to get started, you want to locate your cold water supply line and make sure that you shut that off. Make sure that it's perpendicular to the pipe. Now locate your gas supply, and you see that valve right there. Make sure that you turn that off as well, making it perpendicular to the pipeline. Now on your controller module, put it on the off position. Locate any faucet inside your home and open up the hot side. This will allow air to go inside the tank, making it drain faster. Now locate the drain valve that's located on the very bottom of your water heater. Attach the garden hose. Make sure it's nice and tight. Just be very careful, the water inside this tank will still be hot. I don't have a drain inside my laundry room, so I routed it onto my bathroom sink. Now with your flathead screwdriver, open up the drain valve and let the water flow and drain, and you should see a nice flow coming out from your water hose, and you should be able to drain about 10 to 15 gallons should be enough. Now the water inside my tank has been sitting for a few days now, so it shouldn't be hot. Now I'm pulling onto the pressure relief valve lever to make sure that there's no more water. The water level is below the pressure relief valve. Now close the drain valve with a flathead screwdriver. Carefully disconnect the hose. In this case, the water that I have in there is very cold, so be very, very cautious. That could still be hot. Now with my wrench, I am disconnecting the pressure relief valve drain. So let me show you something here. We haven't even taken the valve out yet, but you can tell that there's already debris and some corrosion in there. Now with your wrench, in this case I'm using my pipe wrench, carefully disconnect the pressure relief valve, and I'm going in a counterclockwise motion. Just be very careful, and then the rest of that, just make sure you take it off with your hands. Here are the two pressure relief valve. Here is the old one, here is the new one. If you look right here, the temperature sensor has some corrosion on it already, and there's some buildup. And if you look through right here, let me flash a light for you guys. You can see that there is gunk and buildup inside there, and that's what's probably causing it to not function correctly. If you look through where the spring sits, there's some buildup in there as well. You can see there's some discoloration. So looking at this new one, I didn't want to reuse this fitting because it looks old already, so I just got a brand new 3/4 inch size one. So yeah, I'm just gonna put some Teflon tape over it and then thread it right through there. Same thing, but this one has a longer stem. This is designed for the water heaters that have a deeper inserts. This should be fine. It should still work. It's just gonna stick out a little bit, but the thread size on both of these is the same thread size. Temperature size doesn't really matter. They're both gonna detect the same. What matters is what's written on the label. This old one has 105,000 BTUs. It is 150 psi, 210 degrees Fahrenheit. Now if you look at the brand new one that we have, it is saying 105,000 BTUs as well. It says 150 psi and 210 degrees Fahrenheit. So they both match. If you're unsure about finding the right one, make sure you take this old pressure relief valve to your nearest hardware store and they can compare it and find you the right one. So this was the only one they had available. It will do now because I really need hot water, and I can just change it out once I find the correct size length. And if you look inside the new valve, you can see where that spring sits. Everything is nice and clean, no buildup, and we're gonna go and install this right now. This one already has some pipe dope on it. When I took out my old one, obviously there was, I don't know if there was Teflon here at one point in time, but I don't see that there's any that they put. I'm just still gonna wrap it with Teflon tape. Now I'm gonna go around it in a clockwise direction so that when we thread it, it doesn't come off. I'm gonna go around it 3 to 4 times, and then that should be good. All nice and set, let's go install this brand new one. So now with your wire brush, carefully clean around the threads inside the tank. As you can see, just make sure that you don't get any debris fall inside the tank right there. Just carefully brush it. Now take your pressure relief valve and with your hands, thread it hand tight so that you can prevent cross threading. Now take your wrench and tighten the pressure relief valve in a clockwise manner. Now you don't want to over tighten this, just tight enough so that you know that it's nice and secured. Now your pressure relief valve should sit just like that. Now reattach your drain tubing. And then tighten it with a wrench. Now turn on the hot side of the faucet and turn on back the cold water supply line. And you should start seeing air coming out of that faucet, which is perfectly normal. Now let it drain until all the air goes out, and it should have a steady flow of water coming out. Now turn the gas supply line on and then relight your pilot. Once that is lit, you should see a steady blinking on your control module. Now you can see that the burner heating up the water. So friends, that's pretty much all that's to it. With the right tools, which pretty much you probably already have at home, and the right replacement valve, you can probably find it on your local hardware store, or you can even find this at Amazon. Just make sure that all the ratings and all the labels matches with your old one. You don't have to pay a plumber hundreds of dollars to do this job. I know that you can do this with the right patience and just follow the simple steps. And most especially, guys and gals, be safe on doing this and always practice with caution. If you enjoyed this video, kindly please press that like button, press the subscribe button, and press that notification bell so you can always be in tune with what's going on with my projects around my home, DIYs, and how-to videos like these. because trust me, there's a lot more things to fix in this house, and this is just one of them. Thank you so much. I'll see you on the next video.